Hey there, guys. How's it going? Welcome to Breakfast All Day. I'm Christy, and that is Alonso. Next up for us is a movie called Sundown, which is only in theaters. And Alonso will tell you about it in broad daylight.
And they do not use the Gordon Lightfoot song, which I was very disappointed by.
Oh, thank God.
So this is a reunion of Michel Franco, writer director Michel Franco, and Tim Roth. They did a film in the mid-teens called Chronic, which got the Screenplay Award at Cannes and some Spirit Award nominations, but did not get a big release in the US. I don't think a lot of people even know that movie exists. But anyway, Tim Roth plays a Brit who is on holiday with Charlotte Gainsbourg, it takes a moment to find out, are they married? Are they siblings? What's the deal? Whose kids are those? Anyway, and it's a very lush resort, like they're constantly being handed margaritas or being given massages or, watching cliff divers, and it's all very schmancy. And then Charlotte Gainsbourg gets a call that her mother first is going into the hospital, and as they're preparing to go home, gets the news that her mother has died. And they get to the airport. Tim Roth realizes he has forgotten his passport, has to go back to the hotel. So he puts them on the flight, which is about to depart, and he's going to go get that taken care of. And then he does not. He goes to Acapulco and hangs out and goes to a seedy motel or hotel and starts having an affair with a local and drinking beer by the seaside. And Charlotte Gainsbourg's calling like, are you going to come and help me with all this stuff with mom dying? And he doesn't. And then she finally shows up back in Mexico. It's like, dude, what the fuck? And it just kind of goes from there. And this is, to call it a slow burn implies that there is an end to the fuse, but you get to the end of this movie and you're still not entirely sure what exactly happened and why, and what is motivating Tim Roth's decisions. And I was into it and interested, but at the same time, I'm like, what's happening here? What are we doing? Like, I mean, Franco directed a New Order a couple of years ago. And so, that he's certainly making some commentary about like the Mexican economy and how tourists, show up and behave.
And class disparity,
all that good stuff. But at the same time, you're like, what's actually happening in this movie? And I'm still not sure, frankly.
I think it's super clear, and I wish it weren't.
Okay.
I don't want to give away. We know though at the end what's really going on with him, and I think it's a really interesting movie until then.
But even that bit of information doesn't completely like close the loop for me. But I'm sorry. Go
okay. On. No. I mean, as a portrait of grief, of remorse, of just feeling lost, it is really quietly fascinating, and a lot of that has to do with just Tim Roth's presence.
Well, yeah.
Because his face is so expressive, and just the way he carries himself, and just from one scene to the next, you just don't know what he's going to do. I mean, like, is he really going to go to the beach club for another day and just sit in a plastic chair and drink beer while the waves lap at his feet? Like, yeah, he is. He's going to do it again. But then sometimes things happen while he's sitting by the beach and drinking beer all day, and how he reacts or does not react is also kind of fascinating. He's just in this fog.
Yeah.
And it's a tricky thing to make a movie in which your central character is in a fog, because what he's doing isn't particularly active.
No, it's a movie about inertia.
It's a movie about being stuck and hiding. And so the tension comes from, okay, how much longer can this persist? How much longer can he keep going? Where does the money come from? And we learn that and that's an element of this and why he makes the decisions that he makes.
There are a lot of delayed reveals in this movie.
Right. I too was confused off the top as to what the relationship is between these people. And that seems to me to be a very intentional effort to disorient us, to put us on edge from the very start, so that although the trappings look comfortable and, the hammock over the infinity pool and as you put it, the nonstop margaritas and all that, there is some very, very fancy resort. I looked it up, actually. It's on the southern tip of Acapulco. And then when he, as you mentioned, he goes to some like seedy resort in some very cheap touristy part of the city, has a very different kind of experience, but one that seems to make him happier. Like, I'm not sure he's capable of happiness, but he seems at least content. Content in a way that like the ultra lush, luxurious resort where he's being catered to 24/7 doesn't do for him. Like, the money is not doing it for him anymore.
Right.
And he seems to want to have a truthful and substantive human connection.
Well, and
I'm not sure he even achieves that.
No, not particularly. Nobody makes luxury more sinister than Michel Franco, I don't think.
Right.
And I have seen this film compared to Michael Haneke because, Roth starred in the American remake of Funny Games. And yeah, I see that. I see just in that sort of simmering tension. And I mean, I think this is one of those movies that the more I think about it, I mean, I literally just finished watching it before we started recording this.
Okay.
I think after I've been able to sit on it for a while, I can maybe sort of piece together what is being implied and what we're meant to read into certain choices and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. This is definitely it's a very, very slow boil.
There is like a hallucinatory kind of magical realism element that comes into it about 2/3 in that I kind of wish Franco had threaded throughout. I wish he had placed little inklings of that throughout, because once it shows up, it's like, whoa, what's that? What's that doing there?
Yeah, that's one of the delayed bits of information, I think. But yeah, no, it's certainly worth checking out for Roth's performance, and I think it is the kind of this is, if you are going out to see movies, the kind of movie that you see with people and then you all go for coffee afterwards and like dissect, what did I just see?
Definitely. It needs to be discussed afterward. Things that we can't tell you guys because we don't want to ruin it for you.
Indeed, we shall not. All right. Someone's knocking at my door, so I'm going to wrap this up. I said 6.5. I
said 6.5. So 6.5 is our number.
All right.
Do you want me to, I'll do the spiel. You want to get your door?
I'll go through. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Now I get to do the spiel. Thanks so much for hanging out with us here and watching this video. Please like this video and subscribe to our little YouTube channel, our burgeoning YouTube channel. You can find us in all the places where you find things at Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. We are at Be Fast All Day. We have a Patreon. It is patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. We are launching into the Gilded Age this week. We've got another episode of the Book of Boba Fett, which was actually good this week for the first time ever. A couple more Peacemaker episodes, and coming up real soon, we've got Pam and Tommy. So stick around for all that good stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us. Bye.